professional. And to achieve that, I needed to set out short-term career goals periodically. I do that on an annual basis. A successful career aspiration is motivated by some factors, in which one of them is having passion for what you do. And I really love the topic for tonight. It's an encompassed one. Because if you say you want, I've seen not everybody that has a career aspiration ends up being successful with them. Some people along the line, everything looks good, but along the line, they just couldn't achieve those, they couldn't achieve success. But even in achieving success, the word passion is very, very important. You must be able to have passion for what you do. That is why I feel very bad when I see young people in school and they say, oh, my parents wanted me to be a doctor. That's why I went to study medicine. Oh, they wanted me to be a lawyer. That's why I went to study law. You realize that most of those people, at the end of the day, they are not passionate about it. At the end of the day, they achieve nothing. They are not successful with it. So I really love the topic where it talks about career aspiration and the passion for success. Passion is very key in achieving success in whatever you do. So to a good extent, I have a successful career, and so I am not here for theories, books, and quotes. I'm here to share with you what has worked for me over the years. So I'll go straight into it now. There are some set of people for you to achieve a successful career, to achieve success in your career aspirations. There are some set of people that you need in your life as a catalyst. And the first one I would like to discuss are actually role models. Role models. I'm sure most of us have heard that all the time, like, oh, you call somebody your role model, but do you really know the function of a role model in achieving a successful career? Do you know the importance of a role model? Do you even really know what a role model is? So a role model, these are people worthy of imitation, people you hope to be like, a prototype of your aspiration. Like I've heard young people, boys who want to be footballers, Messi is my role model, Cristiano Ronaldo, people in the professional world, I want to be like Obi Ezekwesili, I want to be like the minister, whoever you want to be like. But role models, like I said, they are prototype of your aspiration. For me, my role model was my father. When I tell people that I already dreamed of being an accountant right from when I was in primary one, people are like, no, Eriti, how can you say that? That sounds ridiculous. But that's actually the truth. I remember from the day go, I would see my father dress up in the morning. He would wear the suit, the tie, look very prim and proper, very smart. And I used to admire him a lot. And from the day one I have been going to my father's office, he's been a boss. Everybody comes in, carries the file and says, yes, sir, yes. And I'm like, whoa, this is good to behold. Even as a little child, this is good to behold. I think I would love to be like this man. And he told me one day, he said, yes, he's an accountant, he's a chartered accountant. And he told me that for you to be a successful accountant, you have to be chartered. I didn't understand what that was at that time, but at least he said, as time goes on, I will understand. But I should just know that if I want to be a successful accountant, I have to be chartered. I was like, okay, fine, no problem. We will achieve that in the future. And he also told me, he said, every organization needs an accountant, that being an accountant will give you an edge. Okay. That also stayed with me even as a child. I'm actually saying things as far back as when I was in primary one, and my father told me the moment I decided that I wanted to be an accountant like him. Also, I lived with a cousin who was a banker, and I would see her dress up in the morning, and I loved the way she used to dress up and all that. And she became my role model, and that also but that also played a major role in aspiring to be a banker, and that was the first job I ever took up in my life. I joined Guarantee Trust Bank, and I worked there for almost 5 years until I took a turn like, okay, this is I would like to do something else. So moving on, the second set of people that you will need in your life for a successful career aspirations are mentors. There are different kind of mentors. You have mentors even in your workplace. You have professional mentors, you have spiritual mentors. There are different kinds of mentors, but make sure that you have in anything you try to achieve in your career, you have people who have gone ahead of you that are actually guiding you. It's easier when you stand on the shoulders of people who have been there and you don't have to figure it out yourself. It actually helps. So who are mentors? These are advisors. They are people with career experience willing to share their knowledge with you. These are people you should have a connection with constantly. My initial professional mentor was my sister. So when I started writing ICANN, so I started writing ICANN when I was in 100 level. I was in 100 level and my sister was already in final year. She's also a chartered accountant, and she was almost qualified at that time. So she was like, okay, you've always said, daddy said you should, if you want to be successful, you need to be a chartered accountant. Now this is the time to start living your dream. Very good. Just out of secondary school, gaining admission, asking me to write ICANN. I was like, oh, that sounds good. And I was told ICANN then had like 7 levels, and I was starting from level 1. And I was told level 1 is the easiest, very easy to pass. I was like, okay, good. And God's so good. I see myself as a smart person. I wrote level 1. Out of 4 papers, I passed 3. Whoa, I failed 1. Okay. I was like, if I'm already failing level 1, then there's a problem. I couldn't even tell my cousin at home that I had to rewrite it. I went back, I got money, I had to rewrite that's just one paper. Just that one paper, again, I failed it. And I told my sister, I said, sis, I'm not doing again. If this is what this thing is about, you told me this is the easiest stage, and I'm already here writing level 1. I have to rewrite. If I have to write it, that will be my 3rd time. What's my assurance that I'm even going to pass it the 3rd time? Like, sis, I beg, I'm just starting my life. I can always do something else. And she said, no, she insisted. She said, I'm your mentor and I will ensure that you live up to your dream. I can remember then my sister told me that. And she made sure that at that time she had to sit me and give me the techniques that would help me in passing that exam. And by the next time I sat for it, I passed it, and the rest is actually history. So every one of us need mentors in our life. You can imagine if she was probably not there to help me, I would probably be telling a different story today. Maybe I would have dropped out and I would just have been a basic accountant and just be doing my thing today. Maybe not where I really wanted to be. So moving on, the 3rd set of people you should have in building a successful career are accountability partners. For me, this is one of the most important people you need in your life. An accountability partner is a person who coaches another person to help the person keep a commitment. The person is there to help you keep a commitment. This should be someone you look up to and respect, because the person should be someone who is safe to challenge you when you are not keeping to your commitments. Just like, I would say maybe like a father or someone you respect, someone you adore. Those are the kind of people that you should take as accountability partner. They should be accomplished people that in themselves, they are not just talking, but they are walking the talk. You can see the result. It has worked for them. So you are able to commit, you are able to commit to them like, okay, this is what I intend to do. Like I said, they should be accomplished people that have experience or an interest in the field your goal is related to. You need an accountability partner more when you struggle with procrastination, because trust me, this procrastination is one of the greatest killers of career. For someone like me, I write out my goals annually. I share it with these people. They are not so much, it's just like about 2 people. Share it with them so we can keep a tab on one another. It has worked for me over the years, and the need for an accountability partner cannot be overemphasized. Our parents, while we're growing up, are like our accountability partner. They keep a tab on us, they follow up on us. Is this child walking in the line I feel this child should be walking in? So that is an accountability partner is. And lastly, I would like to speak about sponsors. I don't need to explain who a sponsor is. I have seen people with high career aspirations, and their dreams have just gone down the drain because they lack sponsors. I would thank God for myself that this was not something I struggled with. I had people who supported me financially in terms of advisory. It made the journey easier for me, because I know I have a colleague who started ACCA, even older than me, started ACCA so many years ago, but I was discussing with him recently. He has changed his career line. He told me that, I started this, showed me his ID card and all that. He said, I had to drop out because my father could not afford it, and there was no uncle or any relative to assist me. So I just had to do something else. Please, we all need, if need be, we need sponsors, just like a business that needs investor. Every person that needs to build a successful career. Building a successful career is not how do I put it? It's not cheap, because going to school in Nigeria, we as well know that it's not easy. A lot of people are not in school, not because they don't want to be in school, but because they don't even have the financial capacity to do it. So talk to people. And if you have passed the level where you've started, if you've gotten to a level where you've started work and make building yourself a priority. Don't work and the next thing you want to do is that you want to afford the things you thought you never could afford. Make building yourself a priority. Build capacity for where you are going to. Even when I did not see myself where I am today, I was already building capacity, because I knew that one day the opportunity would come and I can take advantage of it. Develop capacity for where you are going to. Develop a passion for learning. It's very important. They said the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. It's not a physical death. And somebody said that knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. That is just the simple truth. When you are well-read and know what you're doing and you have built capacity for where you're going to, you can imagine when you go for interviews, sometimes you see people who are vying for the same position and they are being offered different salaries. Why? They just feel the other person has more capacity in terms of acquired knowledge and skills to probably carry out the responsibility. And trust me, the person would have an edge over you. So build capacity, develop yourself in learning, whatever you feel you need to do, build capacity for it. Also, moving on from there, in achieving a successful career and goal, there are some things for me I do and mentality I live with that has worked for me over the years. Like I said, I'm not here to give theories or to tell you what is in books. I'm actually trying to share I'm trying to be as practical and as realistic and using my life as the basis of this topic today. So this has worked for me over the years. And one of the things I do in building that has helped me to build a successful career is that I write down my plans. I write down my plans and I stick with it, because in writing down my plans, the plans I've even written down is what I've shared with an accountability partner, and the person is able to help me direct me and, achieve what I what I intend to achieve. You write down your plans, you stick with it, although you can make adjustments when necessary. Even there's a part of the Bible that says that write the vision and make it plain upon the table, that the reader may run with it, for the vision is for an appointed time. So when you're writing it down, you're not writing it down because of now. You're writing it down because of you're looking at the end. Career aspiration is a long-term plan. Like if you're 25 right now, your career aspiration is probably where you want to see yourself at 50, where you want to see yourself at 60. But in doing that, you have to make sure you have a goal. You have to set out goals. I write out my goals periodically. And in achieving those goals, you need to stay strong. It's not likely that you would achieve success all through the line of your career. Failures will come, there will be ups and downs at some point, but you always have to stay strong. You don't give up. Stick to the plan, like I said initially. You might be inspiring someone. I've seen people, I've worked in, when I was a banker, an engineering person said, "Oh, Rita, I just like the way you study. I just like the way you do this." I said, "Oh, I'm a finance person." And guess what? Someone who had a first class in engineering went to start writing CFA. Recently, he saw my husband and he was, "Oh, how is that your bookworm wife?" and all that. He said, "Do you know your wife actually inspired me to go and write CFA? And that is what has helped me. Changing my career from engineering to finance actually helped me." You don't know who is watching. I thank God I didn't quit when I was having difficulties in failing ICANN at the initial stage. I would have been regretting it today if I did not forge ahead. The second thing, which I think is one of the most important things that I feel everyone here or every young person here who is trying to build a successful career should take away from here is to own it. You must own it. Your career is your road and yours alone. It is yours. No, yeah, the others may walk it with you, but no one will walk it for you. It is yours. One of my mentors once told me, he said, "Ereti, at this point, I was at the point of transition from one job to the other, and I was contemplating and considering other things." And he said, "At this point in your life, you have to be selfish with your career." He said, "No employer had you in mind while starting out their company. You come along and you might eventually leave." That has resonated with me since that day. I was like, "Oh, really?" I'm sorry, it might not be the right thing for me to say, but I hold my career very dear, and I'm very selfish with it. I don't let anybody toy with it. I own it all the time. You are your own inspiration, you are your own solution, and you are your own motivation. Sometimes you might not even find those people to cheer. You might not even have cheerleaders. You might not have people who even. Sometimes people around you might not even believe in that vision at that time, although it's not healthy for you to surround yourself with people who might not believe in your vision. But like I said, you are your own motivation. Once what you do no longer inspires you, then or motivates you, then I think you need to reevaluate yourself and go back to the drawing board. I've worked in I'll give a very good example. When I said I started my career as a banker, as a chartered accountant, trust me, I was in operations and customer service, and I was going to 5 years already. I was like, seriously, if you continue this way, your mate will leave you behind. People that you got chartered at the same time they'll be speaking of good things in the future, and you'll still be here typing and talking to customers, which does not even have relevance to your career aspiration. My career aspiration, like I said, is to be a prolific finance professional. I want to, at the end of the day, set up my own consulting firm and offer advisory services. I didn't see that. I didn't see working in the bank helping me achieve that at the end of the day. I had to go back to the drawing table. At the end of the day, I actually quit and just went to attend to my family because my family was growing at that time, very young family I was building there. I had to go attend to my family and I just felt, but by the time I was going back to the what is it called, to the labor market, I made sure that the next role I was taking up was a finance role that would help me build the career that I've always wanted to build. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Working in the bank for 5 years, I could, the things I was asked to do, I could actually close my eyes or be talking and I'm typing and I'm doing whatever they needed me to do. And I'm like, no, this is not what I'm made for. I have quit a job before because I was no longer challenged. That was not even in the bank. I felt I had acquired so much skill and I acquired so much knowledge that I felt I had outgrown that particular position and I had to move. It was no longer challenging to me because you need to sit down and ask yourself what I'm doing at the moment. Where would it take me the next 5 years? Will it take me the next 10 years? Is it in line? If I continue like this, would I be able to achieve my career aspiration? Would I be able to achieve success at the rate that I'm going or at the rate that I want it? Some people have a set goals. At 35, I want to be this. At 40, I want to be this. At 50, I want to retire. That was why initially I said it that success is very subjective. You need to know what you want for yourself. I quit the job, although I really was playing a very important role in the company and was really loved by the CEO, but that was not, it wasn't giving me fulfillment and I didn't feel I was going to achieve success out of it. And that brings me to something else about owning your own career. See, there's a difference between being liked and being valued. A lot of people like you, but not everyone value you. At some point in your, and that's why I see some people, they are so attached to a particular organization, even though it is not helping them to achieve their goals any longer. It is no longer suitable for their career. It's no longer in line with their career aspiration, but they just stay there because they feel they are comfortable, they feel they are loved. No, you don't get comfortable. If you're someone who wants to build a successful career, you don't feel comfortable when it is not inspiring, when it is not challenging you. Please, you need to draw a line and know when change beckons. You need to draw a line. So next, I would that would also bring us to my third point, which is about surrounding yourself with outstanding people. This is called social capital, and it's very important. Look at me. I met Dr. Femi along the line in my career. When he was working in the bank and he was an account officer and we'll get talking. Sometimes I've spoken to him, oh, this is what I am, this is what I intend to be. And yes, we are here today. You need to surround yourself with outstanding people with like minds. There is a quote that says that you are as wealthy as the association you keep. Relationship is more powerful than money. Relationship brings you more than money. Relationship sometimes brings you prestige. You can imagine if I come here and I tell you that, oh, I'm the daughter of, or I'm the friend of the vice president and all that. It changes your perspective towards me. Relationship is very, very key. I was reading a book. I was reading a book recently, and it says that if the circle you hang out with life pretty fast. And I would quickly tell you a story of along the camera, when I wanted to write an exam called CIMA, it's a UK exam for Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, and we formed a reading group, about 10 of us. In that group, I was seen as one of the smartest. But along the line, when I got to sit with these people, I realized that everybody there, I was the one earning the least pay. I was like, oh, really? It's not like I wasn't the least experienced, but I was the one earning the least pay. And I got talking with one of them who I got interest with, and I told him, and it was like, oh no, it's like, that is ridiculous. You are too valuable for what you are earning. And that is also why I referred to you being valued and you being liked. An employer can like you and keep you there without promotion, just because it wants you there. It probably feels you don't know better. Because if they value you, everything that comes with the value will be placed. If they really place value on you, then everything that comes with that position should how do I put it? It should also reflect in what you earn. It should reflect in maybe you've been promoted, the position you hold, and also what you are being paid. And it was like, my friend told me that, oh, you can, I have people in my organization who don't have as half of the certificates you have, who are not as smart as you are, and this is what they earn and all that. And that I spoke with like 2-3 people, and my perspective changed entirely. I made up my mind that, okay, when next I'm changing my job, if this is not it, then I'm not going to take it. And I was going through CIMA websites one day also, and I read there that an average CIMA certificate holder earns $85,000. I was like, really? Average around the world. I was like, oh, really? And from that day, my perspective changed. Like I said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. You need to be open. You need to research. You need to speak with people. You need to learn from people who have gone ahead of you. And that conversation that I had with my cohorts, and changed my perspective to life entirely. Changed my vision. Just put me in a different perspective as to what I can achieve. See, what you see in others, sometimes you have it in you. You just don't know it. And if you don't know you have it, there is no way you can actually put it to use. Sit with winners. The conversation is different. Don't sit with mediocres, people who think, oh, you're asking for too much, you have too high aspirations. No. Your dreams are valid, your plans are valid, your vision is valid, you can achieve it. And that is what has helped me. Another thing I would like to talk about again is eliminate procrastination. This has dealt with me for some time. There was a time I was working in an organization, my CFO left, and I was meant to take up that position, and the MD told me and said, no, Ireti, I can't give you the position. I didn't have the capacity, that she feels I procrastinate too much. And seriously, I thought about it and said, oh, I think this is actually true. And the procrastination is one of the reasons why, from being chartered and the next certificate I acquired in my life, it was a long period of years. And I'm like, oh, really? Maybe procrastination is even why I've not been able to achieve some of these things. Cultivate a habit of impatience about the things you most want to do. It would help you. It's not about you being over ambitious. Cultivate an habit of impatience. If I have to do it now, why wait till tomorrow? Don't postpone the training or the qualification you need to get now. Don't postpone it to later. Do it now. There's always an advantage in doing it now. You might not have the opportunity to do it tomorrow. There's a quote that says people who fail focus on what they will have to go through, but people who succeed focus on what it will feel like at the end. Don't focus on the negatives. Don't focus on the stress. Don't focus on the pain. Sometimes don't even consider the money. Just move ahead. Along the line, it will happen. let your perspective, let your mentality be shaping towards achieving what you want to achieve. Don't let anybody break you along the line. Tony Elumelu said that successful people will always succeed, because the more they succeed, the more they want to succeed, and the more they find a way to succeed. I will take that again. Successful people always succeed, because the more they succeed, the more they want to succeed, and the more they find a way to succeed. In summary, I will tell you that success is an Oliver Twist. Once you achieve it, you have to ask for more. You want to go to the next level. Once you achieve it, you say, oh, so if I can achieve, that means I can achieve the next one. It's an Oliver Twist. You can ask, don't settle for less. Don't think, oh, this is the best of what I can achieve. Oh, I've gotten here. Oh, at least my role model is my father. The best my father did was this, and I'm good. I remember then, being an accountant, you can easily get a job. At some point, even for entry-level accountants right now, they would ask you that, oh, you must be chartered. And guess what? Right now, you even have people who have been chartered from school. By the time they're coming out of school, they've already added another qualification, and you are there. You have not built yourself. You have not built capacity for the future. That is why when you look at it now, you have a lot of young people who are taking over the corporate organizations. I am speaking to, I'm below 40. I'm way below 40, but I had the finance department of a multinational in Nigeria. You are not too young to achieve whatever you think you want to achieve. You see right now, they talk about Flutterwave, they talk about so many organizations, and you can see the way young people are taking over. Like I said, your dreams are valid. I would leave us with this. They say the end of one hill is the beginning of another. Meaning, if you think that is the best you can do, that is where somebody else is starting from. And one day you will be at that place you always wanted to be. Don't stop believing, keep climbing. Don't stop believing in yourself. Don't think because you have experienced one downfall that everything has turned against you. If you feel, climb again. Take the next step. When you fall, you can check. I have a diploma in what is it called in international financial reporting. I took this exam some years back, and I failed it, and I left it. I went away. I came back to it 6 years after, because I actually realized that I probably wrote that exam too early. Maybe I felt I did not have enough. I analyzed it. I didn't just feel I wasn't good enough. That was why I failed. I felt there's a part of I didn't have the experience. There are some exams that you write nowadays. It's not based on how intelligent, how brilliant you are. They are just management. They are strategic exams. They are strategic papers. It has nothing to do with how smart you are. If you're not experienced, you're not experienced. So if you fail, don't give up. Go back to the drawing board. What did I get wrong? Why did I not do it right? Figure it out. Correct it. Do it again. And one last thing I'm going to say. In all of this, it's not cast on stone. There are no hard and fast rules to achieving career success in your career. Seriously, I would not take away the place of grace. I remember when I was writing, like one of our lecturers would tell us that read like you don't pray and pray like you don't read. I think I would tell us that walk like you don't pray and pray like you don't read. Because doing all those things, it's not that there are many people who are smarter than us, who have even have a qualification, who has done more than we have done, and they are not where they want to be. Even the Bible says that lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So in all that you do, as much as you're building your career, you have aspirations, you want to be successful, don't take away the place of God and prayers in everything that you do. Thank you. And I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. That's a very powerful session. Wow, thank you so much, Ma. You talked about, I'm not going to run through what you've talked about. You talk about the place of having mentors in our life, accountability partners, building capacity. You know, you said we should build capacity for where we are going to. I remember the seminar I attended, I think early this year, and the person was saying that you need to identify the state you are right now and look at the skills that you need for your next, for your next, should I say, the next achievement. Then you begin to like take practical steps on acquiring those skills to take you to that point. So I want to say that that's very valid. You also taught us to write our plans, because at times we have this in our head. They said the faintest pen is sharper than, is better than the sharpest brain. So you also mentioned about we surround ourselves with outstanding people, you know, to motivate us, outstanding people that will really inspire us to do more. You also mentioned that we should cultivate a habit of being patient. I'm not sure I get that. Maybe you meant impatient anyway. But
yes, impatience. Cultivate an habit of impatience about the things you want to achieve.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, and you also mentioned that we should stop procrastination. And lastly, you talk about, before the last point, I also talked briefly about failure, that we should pick up ourselves. Whenever I fail, we should also strategically lay down whatever could have been wrong, like why we failed, because it's very important. That way you're able to pick up yourself faster. And at times when you couldn't even wrap your head around why you fail, you have no choice, just pick up yourself and move, you know. And you also lastly talk about grace. And I think we wouldn't have been where we are at this point without grace. Like you have said, a lot of people that are even better than us, and they've done a lot, but they are still not where they are. Thank you so much for that expository session. So briefly, I would like to give this opportunity to anyone that has questions to ask. You can just raise up your hand and be given the opportunity to speak. Anyone with questions or say contributions or comments? Okay, maybe while we're waiting for others, there is one key something I noted from your presentation. You talk about, you said knowledge is, I dropped it in the chat section. I'm trying to like remember. Okay, you said knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Like it's to me like it's so different, because it's to me on another level. And I was like, wow, this is true. Okay, she's trying to join back. Okay, welcome back, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, I said you gave a very, very important, should I say, quote that really hits me differently. You said knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. And I'm like, wow. Like I would just like to say that, can you just talk a little bit about that? I'm quite interested. Like I want to hear you talk more about it. Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So when I say knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave, I would take it back to one of the examples I gave. I was walking about you being liked and you being valued. And in being valued, if they value you, then every package that comes to with that position should actually come to you. But you know, some employers, they just like you and they want to keep you there and all that. But the moment I was able to meet some set of friends and told me that, no, this is not what is obtainable in the market. And also I went online to one of my professional to SEMA sites, and I was told, I learned that an average certificate, SEMA certificate holder earns $85,000. And at that time, I was not even earning half of it. I was like, oh, really? This is what it is. And also, when I say it makes a man unfit to be a slave, when you go for, what is it called? When you go for an interview and you have equipped yourself with enough knowledge, they don't offer you what is unfit, what is unbefitting to you. Because you know what it is, you know what you carry, you know the value you place on yourself. So when you're going there, when you're going there, you go with the confidence. When knowledge is intoxicating, and you will see that you see a couple of people that are very smart, that they become. I don't want to use the word proud. They become very confident. Confidence is like a cloth; you wear it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say knowledge it makes a man unfit to be a slave, like if you know what you carry, you know what you have, you know where you are going to, then you don't fall for crumbs along the line. You are determined. You don't settle with friends that don't sit in the midst of mediocres, people that don't have as much vision or aspiration as you do. Knowledge is very key. It's very powerful in building a successful career. I hope that explains it.
Yes, it does. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for explaining further. Thank you so much. And I really, really agree with you, because anyway, some people don't actually maybe let me just say that because of the lack of knowledge, we are at a point are just quite comfortable to watch we are offered at a certain point or stage in one's life, because I think it was as a result of the kind of the social network ones have. That's when you're able to, like, you get more knowledge, then you're able to place your oneself better, like, out there. Let me just share a story briefly. I just finished school anyway, so, and I put out my CV out there, and I said within the space of a month, I just tried to apply to some organization. I was interviewed, and I'm sure that they called me because they saw value. And when I got there and I told them what I would like to offer, I told them what I wanted, they were like, okay, as far as I'm able to deliver. So I was like, wow, like no negotiation or some sort. Another interview I also went for, they were like, oh, no, we have to bring it down. But I stood my ground, and I'm like, no, this is what I want. And they were all up for it. But I was like, at the time I was just thinking that, should I have charged even more? Because I still feel that if I have, and they are convinced, they will definitely like take one up. So that's just like sharing my own story. And I think it's very true. When one is not exposed, and when one is not aware of some certain things, one just feel comfortable, yeah. So let me just stop here. Do any other person has contributions or questions regarding the keynote speech from Mrs. Ireti?
Yes, I have my hand raised. I have a question, please.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, Mrs. Ireti. So grateful for this. It's been very helpful. I heard you talk about how that one should be selfish about one's goal. And for me, I would say I've been a victim, because sometimes I didn't know exactly at what point I should bring that into my activity or to my career.
Hello, sir. We can hardly hear you. I don't know if it's from my hand, but I can't hardly hear you, sir.
Oh, you can't hear me clearly? Am I audible?
Yeah, your line is not clear. It's breaking. There's a background noise, I think.
Wow. All right. Sorry, is it better now?
A little bit. You can go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so please, I'd like you to possibly bring me some more light, some more insight about how we should be selfish about one's career. I know at some point I have had some offers and I stuck to what I was doing because I felt it was too early to leave the organization after an organization, and then I see that looks better and leave the organization so soon, or possibly if I leave right now, I want to leave the organization I was with. I wanted some more change. Then I realized when I mentioned it was affecting of my boss. And I felt no. Why would I do this and someone else affect? Let's take some more. I realized later on it wasn't that. Yeah, so eventually I had to bear consequences of my own action. So at what point should one draw the line in one career? Then considering other factors, possibly against that decision.
Are you done, sir? Mrs. Sirete, I don't know, did you get any of his question, ma'am?
Yes. It wasn't too clear, but at least I was able to pick 1, 2, 3 things from what he has said. If I'm not mistaken, he said I should expatiate more on when you draw the line and on the issue of being selfish with your career. And I think he talked about the fact that he has worked with an organization and probably they didn't want him to leave and all that. I don't know if I'm correct.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I heard that part. Yeah.
Good. They didn't want you to leave and all that. See, I'm sorry. What is his name, please? Mr. Jonathan, am I correct?
Yes, Jonathan.
Very good. It still boils down to selfish is what it is. Like I mentioned, I said something. I said your career is your road and yours alone. And maybe, are you with me? Your career is your road. Can you please mute?
Yes,
Can you please mute? So everyone hears. Okay, I said your career is your road and yours alone. So when I said you have to be selfish with your career, I said one thing afterwards. I don't know, maybe you did not catch that. I said no employer had you in mind when they were setting up their business. You have come, you will definitely go. The last job I left before I moved to my current company, I actually set up the company. I was one of those that set up the company. I was as important as the CEO in that company, and I stand to be corrected. But I built it to a point where I felt, okay, let me break it down for you. Even when I resigned from that company, the CEO, I did not even tell my colleagues, only the lady that was working directly with me, because we had our admin office in Ikoyi, then the main office in Ikeja. Only the lady that was working with me in the admin office and finance in Ikoyi knew that I was leaving. The MD told me that if I tell people that I'm leaving, that it could cause a sort of, disruption in the company. They would feel like, oh, for Ireti to leave, that means there's a problem. I wouldn't say I wasn't valued. I was loved, I was valued, but I had gotten to a point where I felt I have outdone myself here. I think there's more to me. I need to take up a more challenging role. And another thing that happened to me then again was, this was a company that was looking for partnership with, maybe should I call it collaboration or partnership, or people to invest in the company. And really, the person who has the money, when the person is talking, if you say you have idea, you have to keep quiet. And I thought about it that, okay, we have other people coming up to join. I have struggled. I have done a lot for this company. And I just felt like, if these people bringing in the money says that, tells the MD that, I'm sorry, Irete can no longer head our finance department. We need our own finance person to be there, so we can ensure that the books are properly done and our money is secured. And I just thought about it, that what if these investors come down the line and say, this is what they want? I'm sorry, the MD will not protect me. This is our business you're talking about. The MD will not protect me. And I just thought about it that, seriously, I was just a staff she interviewed and became valuable in our business. I have seen people, I have had a mentor before that was so important to a company that even the directors don't take decisions without him. The moment they started realizing that he was knowing too much, guess what they did? They brought another, and someone who was not as experienced as he was, to come and head the department. They didn't want to tell him to go, they just wanted to frustrate him out. So what am I saying in essence? When it is their turn, they don't think about you. I'm sorry if there are employers here, and I have to say this, but it's the truth. They don't care as much as you think they do. They care for as long as you're important to them. When push comes to shove, they'll choose their business over you. So why not choose your career over them? Except for you. That is why along the line in building your career, you must keep building capacity. Some people have stayed 10 years in a company that they are no longer employable by another company. They know how to prepare accounting. They know how to prepare the books in an archaic way. They're accountants. They're not finance professionals. Some people have stayed in a company for 5 years, 10 years. They've not been trained. And you think they love you? You think they value you? The moment they see somebody better than you, they will not hesitate to bring the person above you. So that is where it really comes to you being selfish, because will they choose their business over you? No. If you leave that company today, will they shut down? No. So why would you dedicate your career to them? Don't feel too attached. There is more to life. I think I'll leave it there.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Please, any other question? I guess we'll entertain one more question before we call it a night. Questions, comments? Lisa, Yodele, please, are you asking question?
One or two sentences. The question I asked.
It's unstable, and it won't be there when you really need it. I feel very much enough for you.
We can't hear you, Mr. Jonathan.
Okay, sorry if I may add one or two more sentences to the question I asked for some more clarity. Please, I would like to know yet about that being selfish about one's career. How do you consider if one gets into a job and then finds another in about a month's time? Do you consider it wise to leave the new job and take on the next? Do you still consider that being a wise decision in the line of being selfish with one's career?
To be very candid, Mr. Jonathan, I will not give you a clear-cut answer on that. It is left to you. It is absolutely your own decision. It depends. What's the current one offering you? What's the next one offering you? I'll give you a very good example. Just last month, is it last month? Yeah, just last month, I interviewed a guy for a finance role in my company, an excellent, very brilliant guy. I had given him an offer letter already, and he came back and told me just the same week, 2 days to his resumption, he came and told me that, oh, he's sorry, he got an offer from EY, and he felt EY would be good for his career, although we are offering him way more than EY was offering him, but he felt for his career, he would rather do EY. And I said, absolutely fine. Just send an email. These are the kind of minds I like. Because for me also, if he works in EY for the next 2 years, by the time he's leaving EY, I'm sure he'll be asking for triple of what we are even offering him. That is part of being selfish with your career. So when you say you have started already, you are 1 month into it, if you feel, I'm sure what they ask for is 2 weeks notice. If you feel the other job is better and you can afford to give them the 2 weeks notice and move on, why not? My company has employed someone in less than a week and they let him go. This was somebody in a management role. So if they have to let you go, also they'll let you go. So that is what it is. It's left to you. It's your own decision to take. If you think the other role you are taking up is better and you think is what you've been aspiring for all your life and you think you want to take it, please do. You have not even been confirmed. But like I said, I'm not going to give you a clear-cut answer. It's a decision. It's maybe you probably need to speak with your mentors or people that understand your career that can advise you in line with that's what is it called? Because I'll give you an example. The guy I'm talking about, if on the face of it, somebody who is not in finance advises him that why would you take maybe 350 for a company that is offering you 600,000? But seriously, it's not about the money. There are other things attached. So I would maybe you prefer you speak with someone who you feel can help you take that decision, who sees the pros and cons, can help you take that decision. That's just what I would say.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much for your time, Ma. Please, any comments? Any comments from anyone? Comments, suggestions?
Hello, can I speak?
Okay, you can. I was going to call you later, but we can speak, okay. You can speak, okay. Sir.
No, go ahead. Let me allow.
Okay. Before our founder of African Young Brains take over to wrap up the session, please, can we just get one more comment from someone? Okay, I guess I'm going to call someone to speak. Dr. Olumide, please, can you unmute your mic and say something?
Thank you very much. That was a nice one. Thanks to the presenter. There's 1 or 2 things I've learned from what has been discussed this evening, and also with the questions as well, too. I think those are brilliant and intelligent questions. My only appeal is that can we be having this regularly, because this is informative, it's educative and enlightening. And also the numbers of those who are logging in, we can also double or triple that number so that others can also learn from this deep wealth of knowledge that we have here. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olumide. Thank you so much. Your suggestions are well noted. Okay, Doug, please, you can take over now.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful. It has been a wonderful time. So let me first of all thank Keriti for accepting to be with us. Your decision to be here, I believe, has changed our thinking, our orientation, and then what probably we will do next. But before I proceed further, I have with me here my mentors. So allow me to introduce them to you. I am very, very grateful for having them here. And there's need for you to know why the speaker was talking about having mentors. So I have in the house 2 of my mentors, Mr. Sojadini. I hope he's still there.
Yes, I'm here, Doctor. Good evening.
Your boy is still here. It's wonderful whenever we have a meeting in African Young Brain. He is always with us. And fortunately enough for me, I need to introduce him. I've been able to climb his back to be where I am today, and he has never given up on me. So while Reti was talking, I was just looking at myself, how fortunate I've been. He drafted my CV when I never knew what is called CV. Imagine, just fresh from the school, and I was looking for a job, and he said, "Where's your CV?" I said, "What is CV?" And you can see he's still here. How many years ago? So it's good for us to appreciate him on my behalf. And the last time we had something like this, we call it Great Leader for Great Nation. He was the anchor person for that program. And on 24th of April, 2020, if I'm very correct, he spoke like Ireti spoke this evening. And I'm very grateful, sir. I'm very grateful, sir. I'm very grateful, sir.
Congratulations and well done. It's always a pleasure. Well done, brother.
Your boy that probably many people will have abandoned is doing this, and I know you are happy. You are so happy.
I'm extremely happy. I am very proud of you. Well done.
You are happy. You are the happiest person here. People may not know.
Yes, I want to also thank the presenter. She did justice to the topic, not only speaking to the context of it, but by using personal examples and by also answering questions from the rest of the house. I think our experience at her age is invaluable. And I thank her for showing up. And I hope she will show up again when we have a larger house. I keep saying that we need to look at ways to make sure that people benefit from this type of opportunities, just like Dr. Adedeji said, we could triple or even quadruple this number. There's no reason we should have less than 100 people listening to such a fantastic presentation and career building class that, they would need to pay a lot of money if they were to go to a regular business school to listen to such. So I think we need to double. We could syndicate this with our Twitter handles, syndicate it with our platform on LinkedIn, and get a lot more people, people who need to hear it. It's not something that 20 people should be listening to. We really need to spread it out and make sure that more people get the opportunity to listen, because a career is not built on just a pathway of being loyal to the employer, just like you said. I fully agree with the need to be selfish with some decisions that you need to make when it comes to your career and when it comes to being focused on the direction in which you want to go. One of the things I regretted the most was staying over 20 years within the United Nations. And at the point at which I left the United Nations, people asked me questions about why I had to leave, because to a lot of people, that was the ultimate dream job. But I left. I left when I realized that I have other things to do in order to meet my goals in life, which is much more than being a United Nations staff. So like she said, it's never really about the money. It's about what you have in your to-do list for life. It's about what you want to do with your life going forward. It's about a lot of things that you think you hold the world, and you might not be able to realize it if you were just a staff in the United Nations Bureau. So I think I took that decision, with all good intentions. It was just like, same thing with you when you had to leave the bank. So we all just need to understand, and we need to let the young ones know that sometimes the whole essence of having a job is to have clarity about where you want to be 20 years, 30 years down the line. And sometimes you need to change bosses, you need to change modes of transportation. You might need to take a flight rather than continue, with a bus in the career path. And of course, we all know that when you fly, you run much, much faster than when you stay even with the fastest car. Let me not give a second, presentation. So thank you for the opportunity. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. So I'm very grateful. Then the second person I want to introduce is Dr. Olumide Adedeji. Fortunately, it's a big opportunity, and I'm very grateful. Dr. Olumide Adedeji hired me for Standard Chartered Bank. When I came in, it was like probably closed door, but he told me that the door can be opened. And I want to say one or two things, Dr. Olumide Adedeji, again. I noted the issue of the challenge of doubling the number, which I will take headlong, and we'll get that one. Then the regularity is what we work on. Both my mentor, Jadini, and Dr. Olumide, they are on another platform. For those of you that you are here, we call it Leaders for Leaders. It's bigger than African Young Brains. So they are in that platform. I founded it about 2015 or thereabouts. It's more or less 6 years ago. And we have been together it has been incorporated, that Leaders for Leaders in African Foundation, which is bigger, where we bring head of states, head of international organizations together. And fortunately, Mr. Sojadini that's his baby. And I know that when the whole world will hear of Leaders for Leaders, it will be a good story. So I will allow Dr. Olumide, who has been my mentor, to say one or two things. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much to everyone that is here, even though we were not meeting physically. For me, it's a privilege to be here. From when I was listening to the presentation, there are one things I learned. One thing I've always observed is that when you are in the midst of people, there's one thing for you to learn. You can learn, you can relearn, you can also unlearn. Either way, you are growing. If you listen to what Oga Soji just said earlier on, he took a decision and is happy for it. So, we are all learning from each other. Dr. Femi now has become an authority in what he's doing now. And for me, I'm willing to support it 100%, just like our elder and our leader, Pastor Soji, is doing same too. So what I'm going to endure and ensure and also inform all of us to do is, for this program, which is African Young Brains, it's a leadership training. It's something that helps the young to grow. Let's invest in it emotionally, financially, academically, resource-wise, in all ramifications, so that we can leave a legacy to the next generation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I don't know, because of our time, I also have in the house, I would love to hear Andrina. Are you still there? Andrina, yes, she's still there.
Thank you, Doug. I think I don't have much to add on, but just to appreciate, like everybody has said, I've learned one or two things. Every opportunity for me is a learning point, and I want to appreciate the speaker for opening up our space and sharing the experience with all of us. And secondly, just to also encourage everybody on the call that time spent on a platform like this is not wasted if only you take action thereafter. So I believe we've all taken one or two things from here, and let's use it. You'll be surprised at the change that it will create in your life or in your career. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much, everyone. Fortunately, I also have in the house, I think it's good to go family now. I call her and she knows very well that she's my daughter. I don't know whether she's here, Ayodele Labisi. She's a Greek economist like myself. I think I cherish her so much because right from probably when she was in secondary school, I've been monitoring and ensuring that she just followed my footsteps. She read the same course, first degree, second degree, married, and I enter into banking. I said, you must enter banking. She's a banker. So I don't know whether you are there, just to say thank you people on my behalf. Hello, Ayo. Hey, probably she's busy somewhere. So, hello.
Okay, good evening, sir. My daddy, happy birthday. I'm trying to unmute my mic and doing a lot of things. Good evening, sir.
So I want people to hear your voice and then you thank them for being part of my.
I think I not even thinking this is a great platform, and from mentorship, really, I've really learned a lot of things, and from professionalism on your job and prioritizing your career path and being selfish is one thing I think I've discussed with my boss a couple of part of my goals I set for the year 2022, and hearing it from somebody on a path I would love to tread. It's a very great opportunity, though I joined late, but I picked a whole lot of things I've put into writing. And I know there'll be a better opportunity to probably a one-on-one opportunity to discuss with you and give me a link to the presenter. I know, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much for giving us opportunity to grow and not being selfish.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Finally,
Thank you, sir.
Ireti, I'm more than grateful, and I'm very sure you know the request that we would like to have you when we have larger house, and I know you will honor our invitation, and they will be able to learn more and more from you. So to everybody who is here, most especially the African Young Brain team, I would love the one of us to say closing remark and thanking all our guests, the guest speaker. That's Ms. Omawumi Oyewale. Can you just unmute yourself? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Jide, are you there? Hello, Jide. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening once again to everyone. We, on behalf of the AYB team, we'd like to appreciate the speaker, Mrs. Ireti Dariadeyemi, for honoring our invitation. And we also like to appreciate our moderator for today's presentation. We say thank you. We say a very big thank you for taking our time to moderate this event. And to everyone that has taken time to join us too, we really appreciate you. And we say a very big thank you to you. And I also like to use this opportunity to say very big happy birthday to our chairman, Dr. Femi Awoyomi. We thank you for all you've been doing, and we really appreciate you. So thank you to everyone, and have a good evening.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And I very, very soon will get back to you on the next speaker and the next issue that we are going to share together. So till then, I say thank you so much for this special day. Bye-bye to everyone. God bless you.
Okay, bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, bye sir.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye,
I'm
thank
grateful.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you very much, sir.